All right, welcome back to the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast for Friday, April 24th. I'm Chris Hodge. Got my main man, JR, looking very astute with his notes from the NFL draft. Well done, sir.
Listen, all the shit that I took last week for saying Drysdale instead of Drysdale, all right? And then last night, I'm like, all right, I know we're going to be talking about the draft. And I was going to watch the draft anyway, so got all set. My computer would not turn on. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I had to go back to handwritten notes.
Yeah, like back to the Stone Age.
Like I'm in high school. I said to my wife this morning, I said, you should have seen me. I'm like, you should have seen me trying to take notes. I literally had to get my hand going to learn how to write again because I've had so much time on computers. Who writes anymore?
We have so much to talk about on this show. By the way, Jim Russell will be joining us again, friend of the show from San Diego Sports Radio. Used to be on
so
with.
Smart, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. Used to be on with John Schaefer. He'll be on again. We'll have him on about a half hour. Looking forward to that. As always, I have another referee story that I'll get to because this is now the third straight week. The motherfuckers got me. You see me shaking.
You know, I heard an interview. It's funny because we didn't talk about this, but I heard an interview with Roger Goodell talking about the referee issue.
Sure.
And he's like, you know, you guys don't realize how hard these guys, like the pride. He tried talking them up like they were the most prideful people on planet Earth. They would never do anything to ruin the integrity of the game. That he's like, then he talked about like what can be better. The question was, what can we do better so that the referees don't have this issue? And I didn't know this. Did you know there's a blackout period for the referees where there's no contact with the league? There's literally...
That's ridiculous.
There comes a cutoff, and they don't make any contact with the referees. And we're talking about calls, So it's on them for continued education. And that's one of the things that Goodell did talk about is that he's like, listen, you know, reps is what it's all about, right? So
Sure.
I'd like to see them doing other leagues in their downtime. I'd like to see them doing anything just to get more reps under their belt. So in the first game or the first preseason game, they're ready. They don't need to get reps. So, but the blackout period makes that impossible.
$23 billion league. You think you would...
Full-timers?
That's just me.
I'll just do it for a living?
First of all, I'll tell you out there, and it's not to everyone because nothing is ever 100%, but if you are a referee of football, 95% of you suck, okay? I hate you all. Now, the 5 out of 100 are pretty good and we're cool with. 95% of you are terrible.
I'm big in my head.
Look dead at the camera. 95% of you suck. Worst at your job. But here's what happens in our game the other day. So the team runs a sweep. We're on defense. They run a sweep to our sideline. Clear as day fumble. Okay, clear as day fumble. He got held up, ball ripped out. Referee on our sideline runs in, rules fumble. Okay, now it's closer to us. Referee on the other side of the field says knee down.
Like the back judge in the last game.
Yes.
Come on.
So they gave it to the vicinity in the last game. In this game, the vicinity doesn't count. That's neither here nor there.
Were they both line judges?
So, yeah, it was crazy. So this one was crazy. But this is where it gets insane. They originally ruled fumble. They switch it to down. The referee, for your balls, you've never seen this ever happen. A referee has never done this. He comes over to our sidelines and actually says, "Nah, you guys were right. It's a fumble, but we had to overturn it."
Where's the reasoning?
Yo, the eruption on our sidelines.
You must have lost your mind. How did you not get ejected? I would have gotten ejected. I definitely would have been ejected. I would have lost my mind.
It was so bad that it just did. And so after the game, and by the way, that referee, while he sucked at his job, he was actually a pretty nice guy, and you kind of feel for them in that regard. Now we win the game, so we could be okay. I pulled him aside afterwards and I said, "Listen, you never come to the sidelines after a call went against a team like that and tell us we're right. What did you think was going to happen?" You know what the guy said to me? "I just didn't want to lie to you." I'm like, okay.
So they do have integrity.
You just started a riot. It was bad.
I don't know how you didn't spittle like Bill Cowher, get yourself thrown out. I would have cursed this guy. I would have cursed him to high heaven. I would have gotten thrown out just to get my guys revved up. Like, you better give me a reason.
Here's my issue.
What did they say the reason was?
The other guy said the knee was down.
But
from 40 yards
But you're looking at me telling me you know it's a fumble.
Absolutely.
Why are you telling me that you had to overturn it? Why?
95% of them suck. That's why 95. They're just bad. They're bad at their job.
So I would have been better if he would have looked at me and said, "No, we suck at our jobs."
By the way, Donnie, if you're listening, you are not one of the 95%. You are good at your job. God forbid I ever have this guy again. I just want to make sure I get a call. Donnie, you're good at your job. The rest of them suck. So yeah, it just is what it is. Then you had I mean, unless you're under a rock, Vrabel Rossini. This is a touchy subject.
How do you not? I mean, they don't even let him go to the draft, I heard. Like, he was not there for the first day of the draft because he had to go to counseling.
Was it the first day or was it the third day? I don't know what day.
I know he's missing a
he's
day
missing
of the draft.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was day 1, day 2, day 3.
I think it's day 3.
How are you missing a day to go to counseling? And listen, if his wife looked at him and said, either you go to counseling or we're done, and he doesn't want to lose the kids or his wife, all right, somewhat understandable. But you're the face of the organization. You are the head coach of that team. You cancel your counseling session or you put it off for another day. You don't say, yeah, I'm going to miss one of the most important days of my team's season because I got to go talk about pussy. I mean, seriously, this is like when I heard Tiger Woods was going to counseling because he was addicted to vagina. I mean,
man, but he's not in a team sport. He's a single guy. So I mean,
yeah, he had to clean up his image. That's what that was.
Here is my issue with the whole Vrabel Rossini thing, and it's not our business, right? With married people, not married people, it's not my business. I don't care.
Like this guy does.
Right, I don't care.
I care about how he coaches on Sunday.
Yeah, right. Especially if we have money on or against the Patriots, right?
That's all I care about.
But I mean, the people out there, do you not realize? I don't know. Maybe I'm in a different time. That there's cameras everywhere. That you are actually public people.
Like, you made a comment to me when we talked about this briefly. You were like, well, all the players are doing it. I'm like, but the players, A, are not the face of the organization, okay? And B, let's face it, they don't have people following them around with cameras everywhere they go.
I mean, look, players are what they are. And again, not my business. I don't care, right? But how do you get caught? Like, I don't understand. You're millionaires. How do you get caught? It's like, I don't understand someone driving drunk when they got millions of dollars. Well, driving drunk in any case. It's so easy to call Uber.
Another one.
It's so simple.
Tiger Woods is a billionaire. Any argument there? The man's a billionaire.
Yeah, right, 100%.
I would have a team, not one, not two, probably 10 guys that literally their only job was my security and driving me everywhere I go. Someone comes near me, looks shady, Lord. Take them out. Okay? Get me home. I'm going to get hammered tonight. Get me home. I don't understand. He's driving his own car. What?
Fucked up.
Hammered.
Now he's painkillers, prescription
drugs,
whatever.
I don't give a shit. You're hammered. You're hammered. Thank God. Listen, I never got into any of that stuff. But
thank God no one died.
He's
done this multiple times.
Second, third time rolling a car?
Yeah.
I've never been in a car that rolled. Scariest thing imaginable. But he's just doing it by the decade.
I don't understand. Like, there are cameras everywhere. You are the coach of the New England Patriots, right? I don't get it. I don't understand how you get caught.
People are talking about you possibly one of the best head coaches in the league. You're coming off a ridiculously good season.
He's a great coach.
I mean, you just went to the AFC Championship game. You went to the
Super Bowl.
You went to the Super Bowl. You're literally just the man. And you go into a resort pool and you go get caught up with a reporter of all people.
Well, I say it because I don't really care. A known slut. Everyone knows what she is. She knows she's a known slut.
Oh God!
She kills her husband basically all the time. She talks bad about the guy, right? Like, this is what
she's a known slut.
A known slut,
not just any slut. Everyone knows she's a slut.
I don't get it. But listen,
my God.
Not my business. It kind of becomes the business of the New England Patriots because he put himself and the team in a very bad situation. Man, what two people do
kind of makes you think about Bob Kraft all over again.
I mean, that never bothered me, man.
Me neither.
This that was crazy.
I got a happy ending.
Yeah,
I mean, are you shitting me?
That never bothered me. That's crazy.
They raided the place while he was in there.
I always want, like, I would like just for once someone in, like, if they're in, the public or whatever, a football player, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just someone with more money than the rest of the world, right? Just to come out and be like, yeah, I fucking did it. And I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a shit what you think.
Right.
I'm great at my job. Me going and
did
talking with this chick had no bearing on what I'm calling on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
or what pick I'm going to be making in the draft.
It's always the denial. Now, to his credit, he really didn't deny it. He didn't.
No, he took it head on.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
But he just I did it. I fucked up. Like the Kobe Bryant situation. God rest his soul. Kobe Bryant. He was like, the only thing I'm guilty of is adultery. Like, I cheated on my wife. He came clean. He said it. Just come clean and say it.
He also stuck it in a door that wasn't open.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a bad situation there, but, you know. Anywho, talking about basketball, before we get to the draft, the Knicks. Now, last week on the show.
Can't believe you nailed it, man. You really did.
Well, it's not over.
I know,
but so what we're doing. So last week on the show, I gave you guys the Atlanta Hawks in the series, who I believe were like plus 230 at the time. Now come back, you could get on the Knicks because now you have no risk. The Knicks are an underdog in the series, which was the overall plan. You knew the Knicks were not going to win both games at home. Why? They never do. Okay, they're the New York Knicks, and they lose last night in epic Knick-like, New York-like fashion.
1 point.
So yeah, the first team. I couldn't believe this.
That's unreal.
The first team in NBA history to lose back-to-back playoff games by 1 point.
I never heard. I can't imagine that. I can't believe that that's actually true.
And lo and behold, who accomplishes it? The one and only New York Knicks. So we got this thing, and again, we'll get to the draft. We'll get to Jim Russell. People really believe in curses. They really believe like someone is like overlooking them, like attached to them with a curse. And I think people
do believe it.
Lunatics. Lunatics believe curses.
Listen, there is something to be said about negative and positive energy. Do you not believe that?
That's your own energy, though. Like so here's where I'm going with this, right? There are no such thing as ghosts. There is no such thing as curses. What there are...
That's your opinion.
No,
that's an opinion.
This is the fact of the world.
That's an opinion.
What there are human beings who believe this shit. That's what there is. There is no ghost walking through your house. There is no one following you in the air making things go wrong. That's a curse. Now, superstition.
That's
People
different.
are superstitious. I'm superstitious. I drive to work the same way every single day. Regardless of what's going on, I drive to work the same way every single day. That is my superstition.
Even so, if you had to do something else, you would make the route.
No, from my house to the office. I drive this if I'm somewhere else.
But no, if you got to make a stop before the office.
That's different.
Okay.
But I'm
gonna say, if you make that ride only to turn around and go back to where you are, then you crazy.
I make the same turns. I go the same route. That's my superstition.
Okay.
Always has been.
That's really not a superstition.
But again, now, do I believe that somebody is floating over me? And we're like, we don't want this guy to succeed, so everything in his life is going to be wrong. That's a curse.
Hang on. I will call you out on that because on the anniversary or the birthday of your grandmother, who I know you were very close to,
sure,
you believe strongly that you can't lose a game.
All right, first of all, it was my mother-in-law.
Okay.
It was my mother-in-law. Right? Now, I love my grandmother very much, too. She has passed on. My mother-in-law always looked after me. She treated me like her son. Sometimes it's better than a son. And yes, I believe on that day I'm going to win. And you know what that is?
Is that superstition?
That's me believing I'm going to win. That's me believing it.
That you are blessed. That's one day.
There are no curses. These people are crazy.
Listen, there are people in your life, I'm sure, because I know people like this, that they all they do is think negatively.
Sure.
Right? So everything bad happens to them.
Correct.
Right? And then there's people that, you know, so you believe in that.
Not a ghost or a spirit
okay,
walking
now,
around.
We've talked about ghosts before. I'm not a believer in ghosts, all right? But what is it that's happening when energies are doing what they do in the presence of, we've seen, right? Like there is actual stories of shit that's gone down that is unexplainable, right? That the government looks into, people, the X-Files, all that shit.
Listen, it's very simple. We don't have to...
things falling off the wall in a house.
Wind. If you believe negative stuff is going to happen, negative stuff finds a way to happen.
No doubt.
If you're a positive person, positive stuff. You could glass
huge
half empty.
believer in that. I never knew what it was. Been doing it since I'm young. But now with the internet, obviously we know it's all about manifestation and Murphy's Law and all that shit. So,
and by the way, we basically 95% of stuff we talk about on the show, we do not talk about week prior.
Never.
Right? But we were actually joking around, like, can you imagine like being a ghost in someone's house?
You did.
And like the guy not buying your stick.
That was actually great. I like
trying
that.
to haunt the house and no one's scared. You're just walking around confused. Right, you're just walking around.
That's all you got?
But can you imagine, like, so you die, you decide to go haunt the family, and no one cares.
They just start
They just
laughing
don't
at
care,
you.
right?
They're like, really? That's it? You
So
can
yeah,
just flicker some lights? Yeah, I'm going to bed.
You confuse the ghost. The ghost would be walking around. It's like, shit, I was bad in life. I'm bad as a haunt. Like,
I killed myself, and now, Jesus, I can't even
I
scare
can't
people
even
in the
scare his
afterlife.
family.
Jesus, they're not even going to let me in anywhere. I'm not even getting into
telling
purgatory.
You, and my wife knows this about me. If there was a ghost in the house, I would compete with it. I would try to confuse
You got the
it.
wrong guy. I would be gone. We had that conversation. If there was a ghost or even the inkling of a deadly spirit in my house, gone, on the market, for sale, see ya. I may not even stay in the same town. I may have to move completely on the other side of the state if there was a ghost in my house.
I would just be sitting there like, what are you doing here? Hold on.
No, not
you think
happening.
you're crazy?
Yeah, you watch horror movies in the dark. That's not me.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other issue. All right, let's get to the NFL
It's not even that I'm
draft.
scared of it. It's like, well, who wants to be scared on purpose? I mean, it's like,
And what the hell you watching a horror movie for?
that's why I don't.
Okay, so some of us do. You do it for the jump effect. Yeah. Like like my favorite horror movies of all time, The Conjuring. The Conjuring's a great movie. The Conjuring's a great movie.
The one that really scared me off it forever, I think, was The Ring.
Ring was a great movie.
That just fucked me up. I was like, yeah.
There are a lot of great scary movies out there. Ring was good, but The Conjuring are great movies. They did a great job with that. All right, let's get to the NFL draft. I think your team, by the way, the Pittsburgh
First off,
Steelers.
they're not my team. All right, I follow them.
Oh, you.
You can't say I'm a fan of any team. I will go with and against any team on any day. Period.
I'm not saying you won't go with them or against them. You're a Steelers fan. Now, because they fucked up last night, now you're denying them? Really? No, if y'all...
There's no we in fan.
So last night, and you've all had to see the story, they called a wide receiver, Lemon, from USC, and they're on the phone with him, and they're telling him they're going to draft him. And as they're telling him they're going to draft him, he's getting a phone call from Philadelphia.
Hang on, Philly's on the other line. Click.
So here's my issue. Why are you on the phone with the guy before it's your turn to draft? Like,
pick's not in.
You know the Eagles are behind you. Unless you're under a rock, you know the Eagles are going to need a receiver because they're going to trade A.J. Brown at some point.
You already know that's happening. That's been etched in stone.
What? Now you got, so Pittsburgh, the Rooneys, okay, been around forever.
Some of the greatest drafts in the history of draft.
Dallas Jones, been around forever. Make a phone call. Hey, Dallas, is anyone trying to jump us right now? We could beat the offer.
How hard was that? I mean, it's kind of odd, really, when you think about it, because, again, Steelers have had some of the greatest drafts in the history of the draft.
They draft very well.
Extraordinarily well.
This is not an indictment on their drafting skills. This was like, why are you calling the kid?
I don't think they were ready for that. I really don't.
Why?
I just don't think they were ready, and that makes no sense. And the Dallas Cowboys, who have inherently had horrible drafts,
did a great job last night.
Did a fantastic. Cleveland Browns, who have done a horrible job, did great. Even the Jets, I think, came out on top.
I don't think the Jets did a great job.
I know you and I disagreed on the pick with Sadiq, but
because it's a tight end again. Now, trading back into the first round, getting Cooper, I think that's a good. I think that's a
great
good
move. Great
but
move. But Geno Smith is garbage.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is what drives me crazy about the Jets. Okay, you take Sadiq, and again, these kids just got drafted. We are not here to shit on anyone.
Not
well
at all.
done. Congratulations. And you have more talent.
I love that moment when I see the kids crying and they're just so happy that they've finally reached the...
We are not going to speak negatively about a kid being drafted. Here's my problem with the Jets. You had Lemon sitting there, okay? And you always draft tight ends. And they never work out.
They never work out. What are they doing?
You just drafted one in the second round last year.
What are they doing?
Why? Oh, it's a need. Well, if it's a need, why the hell did you draft one last year?
Go make a trade. I mean, there's so many teams that have two very good tight ends. that you can definitely make a deal with. You could have done something.
I didn't mind Bailey. I didn't mind Bailey at number 2. I mean, Bailey, Reese, you can't go wrong. I mean, those are 2 outstanding football players. So I don't mind what they do there.
Well, we said I love Bailey too. I thought he was. I would have picked him over
Reese.
I just felt like there was more experience there. I feel like you're getting a more established player, someone that can come out and play immediately and have an impact. So I thought it was a good pick.
Now you have to let the draft fall to you for these teams, right? So, obviously the Cardinals take Jeremiah Love, who is a fantastic talent.
Unbelievable. I mean, but they went for that big shiny thing. We were talking about this earlier, right? Like, there's a beautiful shiny thing, but there's all this other beauty around it, and you need all that beauty. Like, Jacoby Brissett's your starting quarterback. I'm not saying you should have went out and got, Ty Simpson or anything, but
we'll talk about that one.
You have other needs, right? You have so many needs on offense. The last thing you needed to do was go get $51 million running back.
That's a guaranteed contract
they got to give this kid
draft slot.
And I do think he's going to be a stud, right? Yeah. I think he's going to be amazing.
And we hope he is. Like, we're not rooting down anyone.
He's going to be fantastic. I mean, he's got hands like nobody else in the draft. Possibly, as I heard by the pundits last night, the best pick in the draft as far as best player in the draft. Just went to the wrong team at the wrong pick. I think that Arizona should have done it differently.
So you see, and again, I hate saying stuff like this because I want to make clear we are not talking down the kid. The kid is a fantastic kid.
Unbelievable.
All intents and purposes, and is all-worldly talent. He's
going to be way up there.
But you look at like what Las Vegas did last year with Genty. Okay, they took him very high, I believe number 6, right? It is very hard to take a running back that high and get the production out of them to match what they are, right? That's very hard to do. And
you have no offensive line.
Correct. So
Gentry wasn't a bad running back. He had no one to run behind.
We'll see what happens this year. We'll see what happens this year. But it's very, now the draft falls, right? So now Tennessee, who's probably going to take Jeremiah Love to team him with Cam Ward, right? Now they got to go pivot and they got to take a wide receiver.
Sure.
And then what happens? Now Reese falls to the Giants. And the Giants even said they did not expect.
They did not expect.
They were going to
trade that pick. They were ready to trade that pick.
They did not expect him to be there.
Right.
And then the one surprise, not that it's a bad pick. It's not a bad pick. I was surprised Kansas City traded up to 6.
I was too.
Because I think Delane was going to be there at 9 anyway.
So do I. I don't think anyone was taking him. I don't think they needed to do that.
I think he was gonna be there.
And he's a great pick. Don't get me wrong. I think they just wanted to secure it. I really do. I think that they just weren't willing to roll the dice, sort of like the way the Steelers, I guess, lost their pick. Without knowing it. So they obviously weren't sure of what was happening before them. So
all right. So now, anyone, like what happened to the Steelers? Someone could trade up in front of you and take the kid, right? So if that was happening, then great job, and we don't know if that was happening.
There may have been
But if you just look at the draft and how it played out, like, Washington obviously was dialed in on Styles.
No doubt.
All right? Now,
great
New
pick.
Orleans at 8, they took Tyson. So they were not going to take him, right? Like,
true.
So now it's just, once Reese goes at 5, there's only 3 more picks. One is Styles, one is Tyson. You're just looking at who goes 6 to Cleveland. They weren't taking a corner.
No.
So that's why I said, now again, someone else could have traded in and whatever, and we don't know that. But I just think that kid was going to be available at 9. That was a surprise to me. And I think Downs to Dallas, great
pick.
Great pick.
Great pick. I mean, like I said, I think Dallas is probably the best in the draft so far. Round
Lawrence
one,
and Downs, they did a good job on defense, man.
And listen, the Giants didn't do bad at all either. They did pretty damn good.
Again, not trying to downplay a pick or talk bad, and I'm not.
I know the offensive tackle with back
herniated
issues,
disc. So, and you took a tackle, you're moving him to guard,
but he's a beast.
He's great.
He's a beast.
But the Giants do not have a great history of taking these kids that high and developing, offensive line. I know Andrew Thomas is, at left tackle, and he's a monster. But the Giants have drafted a lot of linemen in the last few years.
Not worked out. I agree.
Evan Neal for one.
Didn't they pass on Micah Parsons back during the draft?
Did.
Right?
They did.
And they said, he's not ready. He needs to develop.
Giants, man.
And that's the year they took, I think it was Tony. Kadarius Toney.
No, I think they took Evan Neal. I think I could be wrong. We got to go look at that. I believe
they took Tony instead.
I could be wrong.
we see how well that worked out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they did not. They don't draft well in that regard in terms of like the player that goes next is a star. So Caleb Downs is going to be a star.
No doubt.
A star.
No doubt.
So now, something that was also very intriguing last night, because this, again, I'm speculating. Someone didn't look happy. There was a miscommunication, I believe, but no one could convince me that Sean McVay was happy with that pick last night.
See, now, I didn't see the post interview.
He did not look happy.
And I'm like, I'm hearing this today.
He did not look happy.
I thought it was his idea originally. I thought he was in on sitting down with the, GM.
Well, you would think the head coach,
of course,
gives their opinion.
Like, I figured
Sean
McVay went to him and said, hey, that's our future. Okay, I know that we need a wide receiver or a weapon for Matthews so that we can get to that next level and win a Super Bowl this year, but that's our future. I thought that was the conversation.
So I was very surprised that they did not take Mekhi Lemon.
Me too.
Because you have the whole, and Puka Nacua is great.
But can you imagine that tandem?
But he's got some other personal issues going on as well.
A lot.
And, and I know Garoppolo is retiring, so they lose their backup, and maybe they weren't confident with Stetson Bennett or whatever.
I know,
and that's
I'm
fine,
not.
right? But at the end of the day, that's a team that has every opportunity to win the Super Bowl once again.
They absolutely. I mean, listen, and MVP quarterback, and you draft a quarterback,
and they drafted a player.
But he's 38 years old. He's going to be a free agent. I mean,
I'm with that. But usually, you don't see a team that's like close to winning the Super Bowl. Like in the NFC, it's them and Seattle.
It makes no sense. Right. I agree. They really should have picked a wide receiver or somebody that just gives a little more depth to give him a little bit more weapons. And then maybe done some kind of trade to go get Ty Simpson because he was still going to be available.
He was going to be available.
He was going to be available all the way up to probably 20, 21, 22, somewhere around
he was going to
there.
be there. What do you think the overall for value? The overall for value. Who do you think did the best last night? Value plays, value picks.
It's so tough to say because the teams had so many picks and other teams only had one. Like most teams only had the one pick. Kansas City did great. I just, like you said, with the moving up for Delane, but that was a great pick.
They lose their corners too. They traded their corners. Oh, they lost one.
I just said I think that the Cowboys definitely did best by far. To do what they did, I think they got a lot of young talent now in that locker room. They can start to push out some of the veterans, and they're going to even. I think what's his name is up for a new contract. They're going to franchise tag him. Ex-Steeler wide receiver
Pickens.
Yeah. You see my eyes close. I'm like, I'm not going to say the wrong name. I almost said Kenny Pickett. I know quarterback, but
no, I thought Cleveland did a good job.
Cleveland
last night,
did
but
quietly do a great job.
It's Cleveland.
Miami.
Thought Miami did a really
Miami
good job.
Miami did a really
night.
good job trading away. I think it was the 9th or the 10th.
Yeah, they
pick,
moved down
to
11,
Dallas.
11. They moved off 11. Got Dallas.
They got a lot of picks in the draft.
They do.
They do a lot of collateral.
I really thought that I think when it's all said and done, I think Tennessee did a great job getting Tate. Now I know
Tate's huge. I think
so they
him and
Lemon,
Ward,
Tate, and Tyson. Interchangeable. Some people had Tate 1, Tyson 3. Some people had Lemon 1, Tate 3. Okay, but I think getting back into the first round, okay, and having that pick late in the first round and taking it on that kid Falk from Auburn,
sure.
The edge rusher. I think they added a great talent on offense.
So a lot of edge rushers taken.
Well,
early.
yeah, that's the league right now. It's edge and receiver,
right? And every time they pick one, they're like, oh, the speed, the burst. He gets around the corner. There's only one or two of those each year that really come out. I mean, there's not going to be 7 of them that are going to come out and change the lead. But Carnell Tate, great hands, great route runner. He can go for the deep ball. I mean, he's got it all. He really was. You and I were talking about him like, I don't know if he was really the number 1 wide receiver coming out. He was.
Yeah, I think him, Tyson, and Lemon. I'm surprised Lemon dropped as far as he did.
I know.
I really am.
Lemon dropped.
Yeah. Surprised. Very surprised he dropped as far as he did.
Really thought he was going to be a Steeler.
Obviously,
really
you have Ohio State getting 4 players in the top 11. So
oh my
well
gosh!
done by them.
One of the notes I wrote. Yeah, no. How
4
about
players in the top 11?
Ohio State,
Styles, Downs, Tate,
3
Reese.
top picks in the first 7.
Yeah, and then Downs went 11. Yeah,
me? I mean, the whole team's going to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, and
now they got to recruit again.
And it's funny because now you look at football, right? So Indiana, now it's the most important position on the field, quarterback.
Sure.
They had one player go in the first round.
That's it.
They went 16-0.
It's crazy.
They had one player go in the first round.
I'll say it here
excuse me. They had two. Cooper got traded back into the first round. The kid from the Jets. So they had two.
Okay.
But Indiana, so two, but one is a quarterback.
You and I talked about it. I know you think Mendoza is going to do well.
I do.
I don't.
Okay. So now there's a lot of situations with that. All right. Before we bring Jim on, I'm going to talk to him about this as well. A lot has to do with the organization you go to.
No question.
Because you could be Jesus Christ and go to the New York Jets as a quarterback, and you are going to suck. I don't care that you could change water into wine. You would not turn interceptions into touchdowns. You wouldn't. You would just throw interceptions. I don't care. Like the Jets draft a quarterback, he is not going to succeed. The Browns draft a quarterback.
What if they bring a quarterback back that failed with them, succeeded elsewhere, and then they bring him back?
Organizations have, I know that's a whole other thing we talked about. Organizations have to develop quarterbacks. Some of them do it better than others, i.e., the Packers. They develop quarterbacks. They develop backup quarterbacks. Malik Willis was a backup quarterback, somehow just got a starting job in Miami.
Sure did.
Okay.
Turned down the Jet job, by the way.
Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Listen, here's what I will say. If Mendoza sits on the bench for 2 years.
No, it won't be 2 years.
Okay.
It's not going to be 2 years. It'll be 1 year.
At least
Kirk
a year.
Cousins,
I
yes.
think they should have 2 years. Like, look at what I didn't think Jordan Love was going to be a great NFL quarterback, but he sat for 3 years behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat behind
They're not going to
Favre.
The poster boy for this, and everyone forgets this. Who's the poster boy for sitting a year?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Everyone forgets he sat a year behind Alex Smith.
Sure did.
Everyone forgets that. And he is the best quarterback of this generation right now.
No doubt about it.
So
no
if
doubt about
Pat Mahomes could sit a year, then Mendoza can sit a year.
At least a year.
And learn.
If they
There's
develop him. Listen, he's 6'5". He's already proven he can develop. He transferred, I think, from Cal to Indiana, right?
Yes.
Got all the starts, and he was a machine. When he was at Cal, he was an interception machine. And he turned it around. 28 touchdowns, I think 5 or 8 interceptions in last year with the national championship.
He's a great quarterback. But now
I just don't know if it transfers to the NFL.
Okay, here's how it transfers. Put motherfuckers around him. Let him throw to good receivers. You got a good running back there in Genti. Hopefully he has a great sophomore year. Okay, coach him up.
You need an offensive line. I don't understand how these teams don't get more offensive linemen and just protect.
And I don't understand why coaches don't get this, because Cignetti got it. All right? Cignetti understands it when they got the kid from TCU. Okay? What did he say? He just got introduced to his two best friends, a good defense and a running game. Put a good defense around a great quarterback. Give him a running game.
That's it.
Don't put the game on his shoulders. Let him develop.
That's it. Got to have somebody dependable out of the backfield that can catch the ball, that you can hand it off to, that when you look downfield and you see everyone's covered, you know your man's going to be over in the, be able to just get you out of trouble.
Put a good scheme, get good players around him, and be a good quarterback. If you don't do that, he's going to be a bad quarterback. But what's a bad quarterback? Everyone was running Sam Darnold out of town, and he just went and won a Super Bowl.
I know. But
right? So what's a bad quarterback?
If you don't have protection, you're not going to be able to get the job. You're not going to be able to run your screens. You're not going to be able to get in trouble. You're just not.
You got anything for the NHL tomorrow? You looking at anything for the NHL?
For tomorrow, no.
No? Okay, so last week, again, just to reiterate, we got Jim Russell coming on in just a few moments. Gave you the Hawks to win the series at plus 225. Now, Hawks are up 2-1. You can make sure you have no risk on this bet because the Knicks are a slight underdog. So if you put $500 on the Hawks last week and it pays $12.75, you can come back, put $500 on the Knicks right now.
Yep.
Okay, now I think they're only plus 105, so you're not going to make any money there. But you have no risk, and you could win yourself $700 with no risk.
Yeah, I tell you, I was almost doing the same thing because I have some, my series bets are looking very good in hockey, right? So I gave out the Mammoth in the series, see what happens there.
Yeah, Edmonton 1-1.
Right, I gave out Philadelphia.
That was a great pick. If they
blow
blow that,
they're up 3-0. I gave out Edmonton.
1-1,
they were
but
minus 200 and change. They're still going to win that series. They're the better team. The goalie situation in Edmonton is absolutely atrocious.
Always.
Which is why their games go over in just about every game.
Nope.
The Ducks, as hard as they play, got no defense. They're not going to be able to keep up. And the other one that I had was the there was a fourth one in there.
There was a fourth one. You don't know who.
It'll hit me. Oh, Buffalo. So
Buffalo.
They got the winner.
Yeah,
they got the
they're
win
up
last
2-1.
night. They were up 2-1. Should be up 3-1. They're just a better team.
Yep.
They really are. I mean,
All
they
right,
got
man.
robbed.
So we got Jim Russell coming on. My boy, close this out.
Guys, let's have a very safe and fun weekend, and let's go out there and make some money.
Keep it right here for Jim Russell. All right, welcome back to the show. Once again, we have Jim Russell joining us. It's always a pleasure when Jim hops on. A very happy Jim Russell right now. Because
for multiple reasons, yeah.
Through the first 25 games, his Padres are 17-8, tied with the hated Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes.
17-8. But I have to say something to you, okay? And I don't want you to take this the wrong way. This is not an insult. It's just a feeling. I feel like the Padre fans are like in the same bag as the Met fans. You guys are some negative people, man. You always think something's going to go wrong. I'm emailing you, John, Dom. I'm like, hey, the Padres look good. And you guys are saying, oh, pitching this and no, my. Like, you guys are negative, man. Yeah, smile a little with this.
Let me just remind you about the Padres franchise history for a quick second here, okay, Chris?
Sure.
So, number of World Series championships for the Padres, a fat 0. The amount of times they've been to the World Series, you can count on one hand. It's 2. They have 1 total World Series win under their belt. They played the Tigers in the 80s, and then one of the greatest, if not the greatest teams of all time in the Yankees in 98, and they got smoked. They were World Series favorites a couple years ago when they went up 2-1 against the Dodgers. They went 24 scoreless innings. They've been to the postseason less than 10 times in franchise history. They've won nothing. So, like, yeah, if the Padres are doing well, it's always going to be met with, I don't know, because in the franchise's history, when things go a little too well, the other shoe always seems to fall. And there's always something on the other side that happens that's like, well, that's the season. Couple years ago, like I said, Padres were up 2-1 against the Dodgers. And then they had a full pitching staff. What happens? Joe Musgrove blows out his arm. Like, this franchise does not know how to deal with success. So when you're talking about Padres fans not knowing how to deal with success, it's understandable. This team and franchise has done nothing ever. They don't know how to get over the hump. And until they do, it's going to be met with, well, yeah, just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop there.
And it's coming from a guy who does a Padres podcast.
I know. Trust me. I do
a great job.
All the time. Thank you. Yeah.
You guys
deal with it all the time, man.
You guys do a great job. So, I don't know where you are with this, right? Like, I personally don't believe in curses. I personally don't believe in it. Like, I don't believe there's some entity following us that's going to make something go bad. Like, I don't believe that. But when you look at the Mets and you look at them get Juan Soto back, and then the same night they get Juan Soto back, Lindor blows his calf out. Like, you start to think, like, hey, is there something to this? Like, are you a person that believes in curses?
I'm actually a very superstitious person, actually.
No, there's a difference, though. Superstition is one thing. Curses are another.
Isn't a curse considered kind of like a superstition?
No,
like it's viewed as like something that you have no control over?
No, a superstition is, if we look this up in a dictionary, I'm sure it's going to give us 2 different definitions. A superstition is something like I was saying this earlier in the podcast, right? I drive to work the same way every single day. That's my superstition. Like, from my house to I don't deviate.
Like a routine, right?
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
But I don't believe some entity is looking over me like if I didn't go that way that he's going to crash me into a pole. That would be a curse. Like, if it's something always going negative, that's a curse, right? Like, I don't believe that there's something watching over us that makes things go bad. I don't believe that.
Oh, I 100% believe it. I 100% believe in curses. I believe in bad juju. I believe in the karma. I believe in all of that.
Karma. Yeah.
I believe in
be
that
a good
stuff.
person.
Like,
yes, that
like
I believe.
I've seen like things happen to my favorite sports teams, and I'm thinking to myself, this team is absolutely cursed. Like, I know that I'm a big 49ers fan, so I understand, oh, they've won 5 Super Bowls in the franchise history. That means nothing to me. It literally means nothing to me because the last decade plus, the last 25 years, this team has gone through some of the most insane losses ever. And to me, there's something, I feel like there's always this little, like something bad could happen. There's a I believe in this stuff 100%.
All right, so when did that start? I mean, you guys dominated the 80s. You won the Super Bowl in 94. Like, what happened? Where's the curse? Like, did someone just say they've won too much? They're never winning again?
I feel like with sports, you have to pay a price. And I do feel like the amount of winning that this team did and franchise did in the 80s and the 90s, it's going to eventually, like, hey, you won all those Super Bowls. Now you got to pay a little bit of a price, right? So I believe in it. I get it. The franchise is one of the most revered franchises in the NFL, and one of the biggest brands in the NFL and whatnot. But I don't know, man. Some of the stuff that the 49ers have gone through and what I've seen with the Padres, it's like, I believe there's something going on sometimes. And then now the Mets, I mean, the last 12 losses, all I could think about was your wife. And I'm like, yo, is the household okay? Like, is everything okay over there?
Yeah, she was trying to threaten taking away some sort of activities that we consider fun, right? Like, just this team keeps losing. And I was watching the game, the last game of the losing streak when they lost the 12 in a row. So I'm going back and forth. The Yankees are playing the Red Sox at the same time. And my wife and I are sitting in the living room watching the game. So I'm going back to the Boston Red Sox game, and I'm like, winning franchise? And then when I click back, it couldn't have been more perfect for me. When I click back to the Mets game, as on the television is a guy with a bag on his head with a frown on the bag.
Oh,
and I'm like,
oh, man,
bag on head. Winning
bag
franchise?
On head.
Bag on head.
It's April 24th and you already got bags on heads. That's a bad sign when you're this early in the season and you got fans already wearing the bag.
And then I get to Chris, if you ever want to get something ever again, you're going to leave the room right now.
Better hope this team wins tonight.
So on the curse thing, right? Like, look at the Dallas Cowboys. Here's what I believe. This is what I believe. And again, you called me an idiot in our last podcast, and I loved it. So you can call me an idiot again. Here's what I believe. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. They dominate the 1990s. That is not a team that is cursed. What has happened now to the Dallas Cowboys is they have an idiot running the organization. A human being that is a moron is running the organization, making decisions, and that is why they're not winning. It's not someone looking over them like thinking, like making it go bad. There are human beings making idiotic type decisions. That's my belief.
Chris, you are not an idiot, because I am 100% with you on here. I think Jerry Jones has completely destroyed that franchise because of his giant ego. There's a reason why they have not even made an NFC title game in forever, and it has a lot to do with Jerry. I despise the Cowboys. I don't like them.
It's another team you hate.
Another team I hate. I have a lot of teams I hate. I've realized, like, I hate a lot of teams with a passion. It's kind of a problem. But I am with you. I think that they're just poorly run as a franchise. And what Jerry has done, look, there's no one to blame but himself. I think the moves that he has made, his giant ego get in the way of players that he's drafted and signed, and the whole Micah Parsons thing. Like, for me, when I look at the Cowboys and I look at the fact that they haven't been to an NFC title game in forever, I put Jerry like damn near at the very top as to the biggest reasons why, because he's just has taken that franchise and I'm not gonna say ruin it, because they're worth billions and billions of dollars, right? But like the on-field product, he just meddles too much with it, and that's the reason why they haven't been in the NFC title game in literally forever.
And that's what I think it is with sports. Now, do some teams have some unlucky breaks? Things happen and you're like, huh? Yes, of course that happens. But I think, like, you look at OKC right now, they got a genius running their organization. Presti's a genius. They're going to be around forever, okay, until the NBA comes up with another way to stop a dynasty, right? And the NBA will do that because the NBA loves to shoot itself in the foot. But when you have smart people running your business or your team, good things will happen. Maybe not a championship because only one team wins, but good things will happen. If you have idiots running your organization, bad things are going to happen. I always thought that's just what it is.
Yeah, I look at the Eagles as a franchise that has, with Howie in charge. Like, that's a very smart, it's a very smart, very well run
Sure.
organization. And they're always in the conversation. They've been in the conversation for a long time. They have 2 Super Bowls in the last decade here. Like, they're in the conversation. But when you look at teams like the Browns or, name another team, the Jets, of course, the Jets, right? Like, the top matters so much. And while the Cowboys brand is arguably the biggest brand in the NFL, maybe in all sports, at the top, you have an incompetent owner that wants to make every decision.
Yeah.
And by doing so, he has made his franchise, it's just not as good as it could be if you have actually smart people in there that are making moves, not because they have giant egos.
Yeah, and look at a team like the Steelers. Okay, only 1 Super Bowl in Tomlin's tenure, but always around. Like a well-run organization, and no one ever says, "Oh, they're cursed because they haven't won a playoff game in 7 or 8 years," or whatever it is. No, you don't say that. You just say they haven't won a playoff game in 7 or 8 years. There is one I actually will buy, though. There is one I will buy.
Okay,
I will buy. I can't even believe I'm saying this on a podcast, but I'm going to buy this one. I truly believe Joe Namath sold his soul to the devil to win a Super Bowl back in 1969, and that's the Jets curse, and that's the one I'll give. That's the one I'll give, because the stuff that happens to the Jets should never happen to anything walking around. That's the one I'll give. But besides that, there's nothing else, man. If you go,
did you ever believe in the Red Sox curse, the Bambino, or
no,
did you believe in the Cubs curse? Like, did you believe in any of those things?
So if you're believing in that, then they would never win, right? Does the curse? At what point does the guy doing the curse just say, "All right, I fuck with these people long enough. That's it. It's over.
We're done."
Like, at what point? It's a human being wrote the Billy Goat story. A human being wrote that. It just came up with it. They wouldn't let it go in the stadium. They're never going to win again.
And that guy 50 years later is like, damn, I hit the jackpot here with the curse of the Billy Goat, and then the whole Bambino and stuff. I understand that. I do. But also, curses are made to be broken. So eventually, if you're quote unquote cursed, there's going to be a time when that curse has to be broken. It might take a long time, but eventually it's going to get broken.
I mean, also, all right, the curse of the Bambino, Babe Ruth. Like, did he just wake up like in 2004 when the Red Sox were down 3-0 and down in game 4 in the 9th inning and just decide, nah, I don't like the Yankees anymore, so go ahead, Red Sox, go win 4 straight games?
He rolled over in his grave the wrong way, and he's like, you know what? I think we're good now. We're done here. You guys can win a championship.
Yeah, man, I just think it's human beings that believe this shit, but in the case of the Jets, like, I don't believe the Padres are cursed. I really don't.
I don't think they're cursed. I just think that I don't even know what to think with the Padres, because like it's if they win a World Series while I'm still alive and you're still alive, that moment is going to be like, wait, what? Like, every Padres fan's not going to believe it, because they've been around for 60 plus years and they haven't even sniffed it. They've gotten yes, making a World Series is great, but they haven't even gotten close. They've won 1 World Series game in franchise history. They've been to 2. They got smoked in them.
Have they thrown a no-hitter yet?
They've thrown a couple, yes. They've thrown 2. That was like one of the last things they needed to do as a franchise. Joe Musgrove threw one in 2020, I believe 2021. Okay. And then Dylan Cease threw one a couple of years ago against the Nationals in Washington. But yeah, the franchise, if they didn't have Tony Gwynn and Trevor Hoffman, some of these, I was talking about this with John the other night on our show. Like, when you look at the all-time records in Padres franchise history for like wins and strikeouts and home runs, they're awful. Like, it's just like awful. Like, before Manny Machado, the all-time home run record for the team was like 164 for a player. And that is, it's just crazy. Like, Mason Miller is about to break the franchise record for scoreless innings in the franchise's history. And that's like 35. So yeah, the franchise, I don't even know what's going on with them, but they're playing good baseball. They're in the conversation. Sure. They're one of the better teams in the sport. So, they're at least putting themselves in the conversation to hopefully in the near future, get to and win a World Series.
I passed along to you and John, a bet that I thought was a good value bet, right? Because this isn't a homer, right? I know people get on me because I do root for the Yankees, and they're the only professional team I really, really root for. I don't believe anyone in the American League, if healthy and nothing stupid happens, I think the Yankees are the best team in the American League. I certainly think they're the best team in their division, even though they struggled with Tampa Bay recently. Forget the Central. That doesn't scare me. And unless it's the Astros who are down right now, like nothing else scares you, right?
They lost Valdez too, so.
Yeah. I think Yankees, Padres, that World Series pays 70-1. For every $100, you win $7,000.
You sent me that the other day, and I'm like, seriously, I think I need to get in on that because that is, I think, a very good future bet. Like, you're not, it's not some astronomical odds, right? But it's still, hey, you can make some money off that if it hits, and it's a possibility. There's no doubt about it. If the Padres stay healthy and Yankees, right, like you said, they stay healthy, all things considered, that's a very intriguing bet.
Sure.
100%.
I mean, because, all right, look, and this one will set you off, but, like, are the Dodgers going to keep winning? Like, we get how good they are. We understand the Dodgers are great. But it is hard to keep going back to the dance every single year. It's hard.
Yeah. At some point, they're going to not win a World Series, right? They're like, they're going to just, they're going to get beat. Someone's going to beat them.
It happened to the Yankees 25 years ago. Someone gets you, right? Like,
right. Someone gets you. It's going to happen.
So, obviously, we know the Dodgers are a great baseball team, but, like, if you look at the NL, I know Atlanta's playing. They're off to a great start. Forget the rest of the East, right? Like, Washington, Miami, the Mets. Forget Phillies.
It's like DEFCON 1 here in Philadelphia, by the way.
Right. Oh, God, I bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
That's not good.
Because thank God for the Mets. If it wasn't for the Mets, everyone would be screaming. But now the Phillies, they're the team on the longest losing streak right now.
Yeah, not good here. Not good in Philadelphia.
No, I would bet. But, hey, at least you got the Flyers.
Flyers, yeah. I mean, I'm not like the biggest hockey fan, but I do appreciate the sport. And once it gets to playoff time, there's probably nothing better than playoff hockey. I mean, playoff hockey is so intense. And I mean, it's just, that's the only hockey that I can enjoy. Regular season, but yeah, you're right. Flyers, first time in forever in the postseason.
And Six is coming home for game 3 off a great game 2 win against Boston.
Yeah,
so there's some excitement.
And Maxey, there is some excitement. It's drowning out the awfulness of the Phillies' start to the season. That's for sure.
And then, to pivot over to football, I thought what the Eagles did last night, especially to the Steelers, I mean,
jumped
earth?
them.
Right, but as they're on the phone with the guy.
I know, that was awesome.
We're going to jump in and take you. But here's my thing. We were talking about this earlier. Like, you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? So you've prepared for the draft for the last 4 months, right? You know the Eagles are behind you. You know Lemon is on the board. Everyone in the world knows they're trading A.J. Brown. Everyone knows that's happening after June 1st. They're getting rid of him. You know they're going to need a receiver. You didn't think anyone would jump up in front of you?
The draft last night, to me, was very strange because there was a lot of things that happened in the draft that, like, I don't think many people expected. And to your point with the Eagles and, jumping the Steelers, you have 4 months to prepare and get ready for this moment. The Eagles are behind you, right? The A.J. Brown stuff, it's like the worst kept secret in the world. He's going to get traded to the Patriots post June 1. Like, it's going to happen. So how do you not realize that they're in the market for a wide receiver? And with, the wide receivers on the board at that time, I don't know, man. That to me, and then all of a sudden, to have that come out and you don't trade back, there probably wasn't enough time to trade back, but still, then you kind of make a panic move. Now, if you're a Steelers fan, you're thinking like, well, the guy they drafted, this offensive tackle here from Arizona State, you're like, they didn't even want that guy. Like, that was the second pick.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted Mekhi Lemon. Like, we get this guy, so this guy better turn into like an all-pro tackle. Because if not, I mean, if you're a Steelers fan, you're thinking to yourself like, this was the second choice. We don't want the second choice. We want the first choice. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest night for the Steelers in that moment.
And obviously we're not in a room, right? We don't know what happens.
Exactly.
But you have to be sitting there if you're Pittsburgh. You have to be saying, okay, Dallas is in front of us. They have CD, they have Pickens. I know Pickens, they're going through a contract dispute like they went with Parsons last year, but whatever. They're not taking a receiver. So I would just pick up the phone and make a call to Jerry Jones and be like, hey, is anyone trying to jump us? We can make you a better offer.
Right. We can move up a spot.
Right. So I don't know if they believed it wasn't going to happen, but to me, man, we have never seen that, I don't think, in the draft history where a team's on the phone with a guy and he's like, hold on, Philly's calling me.
Right. I mean, if you're the Steelers, you're like, wait, what?
Right.
I mean, I would have loved to see the faces in the Steelers draft room when they realized they just got jumped by the Eagles to take the guy that they're on the phone with.
And again, to your point, what you just said, very, very well-run organization. And this from a New Yorker, by the way. This is
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, Philly and New York, that's blood and that's oil and water. You know, very, very well-run organization. And I thought Philly did a great job in the draft last night getting that kid. I really did.
Yeah, I do too. You know, there's a couple of things that does concern me a little bit with him. Obviously, I think you're looking at Jalen Hurts. I saw a stat with Lemon that he caught most of his balls over the middle. Jalen's not an over the middle type of thrower. Like, he does not do well in the middle of the field. He's great side on the sidelines, right? He's great with the deep ball. But if you're looking for a guy to get most of his work in the middle of the field, Jalen's gonna have to step up and you know, not be afraid to throw the ball over the middle of the field, and we'll see how it goes there. But it's the Eagles; they're well run. They're gonna figure it out, and they replace now AJ Brown with this guy from you know, USC, the Blitnikoff Award winner, and I think you can't help but look at that what they did and be like, yeah, they nailed it again.
Yeah. What did you think about Jeremiah Love, number 3 to Arizona?
I thought it was a massive reach to take a running back that high at number 3 when you have so many needs for that team. You have no offensive line, you have no quarterback, you already have James Conner in the backfield, and now you're paying Jeremiah Love what, $50 million as a top 3 pick. He's already the highest paid running back in the NFL. Look, I'm not like dissing Jeremiah Love. I think that he is going to be a good football player. Actually, I think he is a good football player coming into the draft the other night, but I don't think it was the right spot for him to go. What do you think?
We talked about this earlier when I was on with JR. We thought same thing. And that's why I didn't send you anything about this podcast. I want to get your opinion, get JR's opinion. We both said the same thing, man. Reach at number 3. I thought the Giants never thought Reese would be there at number 5. I think,
oh my gosh,
Reese at number 5. Now, I know they got like a logjam of people there, and that's up to them to figure out. But no one had Reese at number 5. Like, you're sitting there at the Giants, you have to take him at number 5. You have to.
You have to.
Right.
And yeah.
So and I thought Kansas City moving up to 6, because I thought that kid would have been there at 9. I thought that was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, the top 10 in general, I think, other than Mendoza, I think almost every pick you're like, that's interesting.
Sure.
I think the Carnell Tate to number 4 to Tennessee, I think that was a reach. You don't even get the best wide receiver from Ohio State at number 4. Like, what? I don't get that. The trade up by Kansas City, I think they got freaked out, and it's like they almost were betting against themselves, and they could have just stayed there and got him at 9. I think the Giants, you're right, with Reese going there at 5, you have to take him. Well, who knows with the Jets? I mean, whoever they pick in the top 10, it's just like they're gonna suck. So I mean, they have so many issues. It's like whatever. But all in all, yeah, top 10, and then you get down to Caleb Downs going to the Cowboys, the team we talked about here. It's like, of course, I think Caleb Downs should have been a top 10 pick, and he falls to the Cowboys. But yeah, all in all, top 5 for the draft, other than Mendoza, I think every pick was like, that's interesting.
I think the pick of the draft, for value and where you are drafting, right, was Dallas with Downs. I really thought that was a great pick by them. I think the surprise of the draft was Simpson going to the Rams. Like, no one had that. And I think the laugh of the draft was Pittsburgh being on the phone with a kid you're about to take, and you get jumped. Like, but I really the Rams surprised me with that draft pick. They really did surprise me. You're looking at a team that, for all intents and purposes, could win a Super Bowl this year. I mean, and you saw the post draft press conference.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
he was pissed, man.
Dude, like, the worst poker face you could possibly have is Sean McVay.
Right. And unfortunately for that kid, like, you're going into that situation like, wait, my coach, because the way I look at that is he don't want me. That's the way I would look at it.
100%.
Like, that's a hard position for a quarterback to go into. I think the Jets taking a tight end again. Like, you talk about a friggin' franchise that never learns, right? Like, they've drafted more tight ends in the first round, and it never works out. I don't understand. And then they go do it again.
Sadiq, I think, is the best tight end in the draft.
Sure.
I think he, in the right spot, could be one of the better tight ends in football, like, potentially right away. But anybody that goes to Jets, you're just like, that guy's going to suck. Like they don't put their players in the best position to win and to succeed. And now you got Geno Smith again back in a Jets uniform throwing the football. Like, I feel bad because I like Sadiq a lot. I think that if he went to like, any other team that wasn't the Jets with an actual freaking quarterback, he could be a potential candidate for offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Because I think he's that good in the tight end position. You can, scheme it and figure out ways to, like, if he went 13 to the Rams instead of Ty Simpson.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
And instead, you get the Rams and there's potential, a divide between, the GM and the head coach with this pick. And, the Jets with Sadiq. I mean, he's a good football player, but is he in the right spot? It's all about fit, scheme, and are you drafted to the right spot to succeed? And I just have a feeling that it could be bad for Sadiq.
And we were talking about this, like, we don't want. We wish that what happened last night to these kids is the greatest moment of their life.
100%. Yeah.
We wish them all the success in the world, every single one of them. Right? We want to see them succeed, but we know watching sports, like, I truly believe this. Nothing factual to back it up. A complete opinion. The kid from Oregon, the quarterback, knew he was going to the Jets at number 2 and said, fuck that. I'm staying here. I'm not going to that organization. I'm not getting beat there because I have no shot to succeed there. We'll stay one more year and play it out next year. I firmly believe that happened.
No, if you're a quarterback, you look at next year's draft with Arch Manning and the kid from Oregon, right? Like, you're thinking, like, please don't have a top 5 pick again, Jets. Odds are, though, they're going to have a top 5 pick. They're always going to have a top 5 pick. So if you're the Jets, right, and to give the Jets maybe a little credit here, you're probably thinking to themselves, all right, we have a chance and we're probably going to get a quarterback next year. We're not going to try to, make some crazy things happen this year. And by getting Sadiq and then moving back into the first round to get Omar Cooper from Indiana, they're thinking to themselves, let's get the weapons ready for the potential quarterback next year, because we're going to suck and we're going to be a top 5 team, in the draft next year anyway.
So before I let you go, just give me 1 to 10, right? How excited are you about the Padres right now? 17-8, like, 1 to 10, where are you?
Honestly, it's weird because, like, their record's really good, but they got some issues. Like, their starting pitching, I know they just signed Giolito, but they lost Pivetta. Who the hell knows about Joe Musgrove when he's going to return? The pitching's a concern, and their top 3 guys, Manny, Jackson Merrill, and Fernando Tatis Jr., have all started off the year awful. They just have been awful, especially Tatis and Manny's hitting under 200. But with all that said, they have the best bullpen in the sport. They have the best closer in the sport. They have, the star power, the players I just named. They're not going to be down like this all year long. They're eventually going to get back to close to their numbers at some point. So stack the wins now, and hopefully you get those guys playing better baseball later in the year. I don't know, like an 8, 7, 8.
Yeah, so I'll give you the arrogance of a Yankee fan. We're like a 2, man. This is nothing new to us, man. We're gonna be good. Yeah,
well, the team was 14-3 to start last year, and I was like, this team's gonna freaking win the World Series. They're gonna go undefeated. Like, I mean, all-time high last year. It was just, so not to, like, temper my expectations a little bit. So I'm like a 7, 8.
This is it for me, man. I tried telling my wife this. Like, what are you so upset about? The Yankees, the Mets. You root for a clown show. I root for the Yankees. This is what it is, man.
It's just another Tuesday to me. Like, we're at the best record in the American League. Like, that's fine.
I told you guys, you and John, man, we get a Yankees-Padres World Series. I'll get you over here to the Bronx.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, we'll go see the game.
I'll drive up. I'll be there in a couple hours.
And you guys treat me over in San Diego. I know you're in Philly right now, but I'll get treated over in San Diego.
John's got you. Yeah, John's got you.
Well, good, man. Jim, man, thank you so much. Again, the second time you've been on the show. Love doing this stuff with you. For my money, man, you're one of the best guys we ever have on, so appreciate you. And
you're not an idiot this time, so good on you. Maybe next time, but today you're not an idiot.
Boy, I tell you, man, just on that real fast. Whoa, I got hammered for saying North Carolina wasn't a good job. Oh boy,
as you should have, as you should have.
Jim Russell, thank you so much for joining us, man. Have a great Friday.
You too, man. Thanks.
Thank you.